Hi folks, I'm Matt and welcome to My Expanded Universe, a show where I go through the entire EU in chronological order as best I know how. Okay folks, we're finally going to wrap this talk up about the Tales from Mos Eisley short stories, edited by Kevin J. Anderson. So the next one I want to talk about is of course the Ranrat's Tale. It was written by Rebecca Mosta and it's titled Tradewinds. Now this one focuses on the Ranrat Regesk, and he is a friend of Kevin J. Anderson's Jawa from the previous tale, Hetnik. And is he a friend though, or does he betray the Jawa? This writes a sad tale, the two, part one and part two. It was really good and I really did enjoy it. The next short story is called At the Crossroads. It's the Spacer's Tale, written by Jerry Olson, and this stars Boshek, who has broken Han's Kessel Run, and he's ready to brag to the world about it. Now he encounters Obi-Wan, who gives him some good advice. Boshek is sensitive to the Force, and that's going to basically impact his life shortly thereafter. Now this was probably my least favorite, and here's why. I don't know how I feel about someone breaking Han Solo's Kessel Run. Remember, he brags about that in the movie. So when he bragged about that, it actually turns out he was not the record holder. It was Boshek. Why give a guy named Boshek? I mean, sure, the guy had the sideburns. Maybe he had the whole Boba Hotep thing going, but Boshek, I don't know. The fact that they already established he was a better pilot than Han, I'm sure that's not what they were. Well, you know what? If you beat the Kessel Run, I guess that is what you're saying. He's a better pilot than Han Solo. I just wasn't buying that. And so it rubbed me the wrong way. And the story overall, he was a Force sensitive. Great. Who wasn't back then? It seems like everyone had the Force back then. So to me, this probably is the weakest one, but that doesn't mean it's a bad one. It's still a decent story, and well, it's one in the book. Now the last one was written by Pablo Hidalgo. It was called Spare Parts. Basically, a Jawa and a squib walk into a bar. No, I'm just kidding. But a Jawa and a squib accidentally steal one of Jabba the Hutt's droids, and of course hilarity ensues. Now the squib's name, shortened, is Mace Windu. Mace Windu was actually featured in the West End Games novels. When I reviewed or did an overview of West End Games a long time ago, before I started this, chronology review series, I actually said, I believe I did, that they actually named a squib Mace Windu. It was off of one of George Lucas's notes for the original series. Mace Windu was always a name he had, so West End Games gave a character the name Mace Windu. And I guess Pablo thought it'd be fun to stick him in a short story here. And it was. It's a very fun story to read. I really did enjoy it. So overall, what do I think about Tales of Mos Eisley Cantina? Heck, you should know by now. I love this series. It is fantastic. I wanted there to be more, like I said. And there was more. There is actually a comic book. It's a one-shot comic book by Dark Horse called Tales from Mos Eisley that has 3 short comic book tales in it. Ooh. Now, they actually came out in the Star Wars Galaxy issues 2, 3, and 4. And so all Dark Horse was doing was collecting all 3 of them into one book, and I did not know that at first. But let me go ahead and explain each one of those 3 short stories. The first one is called Heg's Tale from the Star Wars Galaxy 2. In it, Sam Hegg tells the tale of how he got a Grumpf egg. And Star Wars Galaxy 3 is called Mostly Automatic, and this one's about Tim Chesick as he recalls his journey to and from the planet Cyrus 2. And then finally in Star Wars Galaxy 4, it's called Light Duty, and it's where a spacer recalls a tale of a past adventure he had as well. Now all 3 of these books were written by Bruce short stories are written by Bruce Jones, and they were okay. Now, I don't know if these took place before or after the movie. It doesn't really say. I don't think they took place during it because you don't see any of the other characters from the movie there. But out of these 3, that second one, the Mostly Automatic, is really, really good. And that's also the one that reminded me when I bought the comic book thinking, oh, I've never read these. And I remember reading that Mostly Automatic and going, dang, I've read this somewhere before. Yeah, it was in my Star Wars Galaxy magazine, and that's when I realized they were just reprints. Now I'm glad that Dark Horse did that so everyone could have a chance to read it, and I think it's super cheap to get. Is it as good as the novel? No, except for Mostly Automatic. I really did like that tale. I wish they would have done more of these though, because I think that kind of tales, I would have enjoyed that series, but who knows. Folks, that is Tales from Mos Eisley. Should you get the comic book? Maybe it's cheap, go for it. Should you get the book? Heck yes, you should. All right, folks, that's it for now. See you next time with another video.